Well, hello everybody, TBJ Racing here, and it must be that time of year again. It's the second week of March, and for an F1 fan that can only mean one thing. We are nearly ready for another season of Formula 1. The long wait that haunts an F1 fan is nearly over. The months that we have to endure without getting our fix of Formula 1 will finally end this weekend with the Australian Grand Prix. And with that, it means two things. Firstly, the Formula Fun podcast will be back in full swing. We've already had our we've already had a look at the new cars and our testing review, so you can go and watch those podcasts. And of course, as like last year, to go along with it, we will have a F1 Fantasy League with the official F1 Fantasy League. Just before we start and get into this, yet again, I haven't had a reply from last year's winner, Rodrigo. If you are watching this again, if you want to get in touch with me, and we will get the promised shirt made to celebrate your victory, and we will have the same thing this year. We will get a 2019 t-shirt made to honour the winner, unless it's
auto shutdown initiated.
We're not allowed that, so we will obviously then give it to the next highest place person that's not Meal Rage. But it will be a t-shirt again. And to go along with that, if you do sign up to the league, if you could leave your YouTube name down in the description, let me know who you signed up as and which team you are in the league. And that way it makes it easy to get in touch with the winner to try and get their prize across to them. If Rodrigo does get in touch, then we can get that shirt made and sent over to him. You might not want it because it's probably going to be really shoddy workmanship, but it'll be a one-off, and there's not much you can say in life is that anymore. So the first thing we shall do, of course, is to create my team for the first week. We are given a budget of $100 million. Substitutions this year will be 1 free per week, or race even, and then you'll get minus 10 points from your weekly total if you do make a substitution.
Powering off.
And then you can select a turbo driver again each week, which is a driver that will get double points. That counts also if they get minus points. I think it doubles up the minus points. So you have to make that pick pretty carefully. So we've got to try and find the best way to spend the budget. So we're just going to start playing around with a few things. So I mean, my tips this year are Ferrari and Vettel. So I'm going to put Ferrari straight in there because I think they're definitely the team I want to select. And I want to put Ferrari driver in there, but I'm wondering if Vettel is worth the extra money over Leclerc, because I think it's going to be really tight between those two this year. I do think, as my prediction went in the last podcast, that Vettel is going to come out on top as Drivers' Champion this year. But we could use the money better elsewhere, so I'm actually going to put Leclerc in as my first pick. Now, Red Bull are likely to pick up good points in terms of positions move forward, because I think in qualifying they're still going to struggle with their Honda engine this year, even if it is a little bit better than the Renault. Verstappen is someone that goes forward an awful lot, but again, he's very expensive. So, I think the second driver I'm going to put in is actually a Haas driver, because I think their car looks really good this year. And I think they're going to have a strong start to the season. And they might be drivers we swap out as we get on through the races. But to begin with, as long as they don't have a disastrous start last year, as they did with their wheel guns, I think they could be very, very strong in Australia. So then it's just a question of whether it's Magnussen or Grosjean. Considering Magnussen was out the blocks a lot quicker this year, he's matured a little bit. I think we're going to put him in as our second driver. And then we got 3 drivers to go then. How are we doing on the budget? We got 37 million. So we're going to have to look towards the cheaper end for the drivers. Now, McLaren are very hotly tipped by myself. I think Norris is going to prove a worthy adversary for Sainz, but not early on. I think it will take him some time to get up to speed, and Sainz is obviously incredibly experienced, and I think that McLaren car looks a lot better than it did last year, so I'm going to put him in as my third driver, leaving us with 29 million. So with that, we could go for another big ticket item. I'm definitely not going to go Bottas because I don't think he's going to have a very strong season in what I think is probably going to be his final season in the Mercedes. Gasly, I'm not sure about. He's a very talented driver, but whether he's going to be good enough to mix it with the big boys. I really want to put Verstappen in, but the problem with Verstappen is it leaves us with 5.3 million, and that leaves us with not enough money for anybody. So it's not going to be him. So it does leave us about 13 million per driver, and I think Renault again looking strong. There's a lot of midfield teams, to be honest, that are looking great, but I think we're going to put him in as our fourth because I really do expect him to hit the ground running this year at Renault. And then it leaves us with 17.8 million. And the only driver that really fits that bill is Gasly. But we don't have to spend the full amount of our budget, let's be honest. The other one that's jumping out to me is Kimi Räikkönen. It's a big risk. But again, that Alpha car looks really good this year. Oh, that's an interesting team. Yeah, that's looking pretty good to me. In an ideal world, you would put Hamilton and Vettel in, and Verstappen and Ferrari, but we don't have enough money for that. And if we say get rid of Ricciardo, it leaves us with 19.8. Yeah, still only allows us Gasly, really. Unless we cut one of these for the likes of Stroll or Norris. Again, I don't think they're going to be great in the first few races. Toro Rosso look okay, but Albon is going to take some time to get up to speed, and Kvyat, well, God knows what he's going to do this year. Williams just don't have the car. Two brilliant drivers, but I can't see them doing anything great in Australia. So yeah, I think we're going to add Ricciardo back in. That's going to be our team. And then it's our turbo boy. So turbos, let's not forget, have got to be under 19 million. So you can't double up the points on the big guys. So that leaves us with our 4 remaining drivers. And which one of those do we think is going to hit the ground running in Australia? In terms of the cars, I would probably say it's Haas, Renault, McLaren, Alfa Romeo if I was to put them in order. I just think Ricciardo on home turf, he really wants to make an impact early and make everybody think that he's really made the right choice. Okay. Our favourite team. I don't really have a favourite team anymore, I'll be honest. I'm just going to go with Ferrari because I think those two guys are going to be incredible this year. Right, now we just need a team name. I think there's only one name. I was going to call the Cup it, but I'm not going to. So, any long-term listeners to the podcast throughout last season will know what this is all about. I'm going to try and make... Well, Rage might do it on his own. He might go with 8 Point Racing. I would love that to be his team name as well. We're going to go with Jake Dennis Racing. I was going to make the cup called the Jake Dennis Memorial Cup just for a complete joke, but... yeah, we're not going to. Right, and now we can create our own league. We're going to go a little bit official this year. I'm going to go with the Formula Fun Cup because it is, of course, to pair with the Formula Fun podcast. It will be a private league, so only people that watch this video or check out the podcast in future, or we might mention the code in some streams or something, but there will only be a select few people, and that's the idea. It's a private league for just us guys. As I say, the winner of the league will get a specially designed and almost certainly terrible Formula Fun Podcast 2019 Cup t-shirt. God knows what that's going to look like. And of course, we will be starting this week in Australia, and we're only going to allow one team per entrance, because that makes sense. So there you go. There is the code. I will put that down in the description as well, and in all future podcasts as well. And obviously, you guys can go out and get signed up. If you do sign up to the league, let me know in the description of this video, stating obviously the team name that you've used as well, and that will help me to get in touch with you if you do win the league. And all that's left is to say 5 or 6 days, guys. That's all we've got to wait now till the next Grand Prix. I can't wait already. I think this season's going to be incredible. It has all the promise and all the intrigue and the driver changes and the rule changes to make this a true classic. Let's hope we get that from Australia onwards. So if we don't speak before, I hope you guys enjoy the first Grand Prix. If you don't catch us with streams or other videos, then you can join us on the Formula Fun podcast next Monday, which will be live this season as opposed to recorded, so you guys can talk to us the day after the race to discuss the weekend's Grand Prix and go through all the trials, tribulations, successes and failures, which I'm sure there will be many of all. So thank you, everybody. I hope you guys have enjoyed the little bit more content the last few weeks. We'll be continuing to push on with that, as well as the streams with iRacing. And ORL, we'll be trying to get some more dedicated videos out as well as just streams. So yeah, 2019 looking bright, and let's hope for a great season. Hey, thank you, everybody. Good luck with the league, and I'll catch you next time.